It's my duty to please the booty.
And Muzz got mad at me, the coach said, he goes, Jesus Christ, why don't you just work 2 nines? And I went, okay.
Switch the call.
Please never do that.
Yep. So.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 506 of Spittin Chiclets, presented by Pink Whitney from our friends at New Amsterdam Vodka here in the Barstool Sports podcast family. Big game 2 in Florida last night. Huge game for Edmonton, but the Cats with a 4-1 chokeout to take a 2-0 series lead. The Whit Dog, we'll go to you first. Say hello, but tough one for you last night, buddy.
Crushed right now. But right away, my mind went to, while being in one, as the Oilers are right now, we're going home, and we're going to what's going to be the craziest atmosphere the NHL's seen in years. And a series doesn't start until the home team loses a game, RA. We're in one. We got Anaconda chokeholded out tonight. No, pushback, no chances the second half of that game. But here we are. You can't just sit around and feel sorry for yourself, RA. You know what I'm talking about. You got to say we're going back to Edmonton and we're getting both of those games.
You think they'll get You think they'll get a chance on the inside in the house, Whit? You think they're going to maybe impose their power a little bit and stop playing from the fucking perimeter? That was a sideshow tonight, buddy. That was brutal. That's your team.
Not
I want
the
to
whole
hear
game, because even you said early on they got the 5-minute major, then they scored on the 4-on-4, and you even said before that goal, wow, Oilers look great. I think the Oilers take some little while in the series. I know it was brutal the second half, but at the beginning, while being outshot, they were looking better, in your words, than Florida did the game before getting outshot. But then I agree with you. Second half, I said against the Rangers, though, you can't get to the inside against the Panthers. It doesn't matter what team it is. You're going to have to figure it out. But they drop back in the house, a bunch of monsters, and you might get a shot, and then boom, it's cleared out. So the problem, I read a tweet. The Oilers forwards had 4 shots 5-on-5 tonight.
That's tough. Oof.
Jason Greger
they had
tweeted that out.
seven shots. Oh, my lights.
5-on-5.
Wow.
Oh, hey.
Army.
Hey,
You got those
getting a
motion
little-
lights?
Naughty
Yeah,
over
No,
there.
I got this thing. Hold on, let me do this for you guys. Sorry
It
about
shuts
that.
off
That's
at the
right.
same time every night. If you're watching on the YouTube,
Yep.
Army just went into his
He went
room
dark
went
mode.
dark.
I just
He looks
went
like
dark.
he's in the basement and Saw right now.
Merles and Army, the Game Notes boys are here. Merles, what's up, buddy? Can't wait to see you in Edmonton.
Ooh, meow.
Ooh,
I want to
wow.
I want to talk about a few cats. I want to talk about the cats. 2 things I noticed tonight. Their length, and their reach. It reminds me a lot of Vegas's D last year. They're big, they're lengthy, they're all over you. But the game changed when the big cat came on. Our own Barstool Big Cat joins our stream. The game is 1-1. I felt we were fine. McDavid or Draisaitl is going to get one. We'll go to overtime. Stream will get to go to overtime. I love this. Big Cat comes on and mushed us all.
He's the Oilers' Grim Reaper. He comes
He
on
is
these streams we do, and immediately the Oilers start getting dominated and give up goals.
He is. He said, I think he's -7 goal differential when doing Oilers games. Like the other
Cap
team.
friendly for that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, now
It's
we're getting sued.
unbelievable.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay,
unbelievable.
so wait. So he says he's not the mush, but then he comes on as sneaky cat. Now, G reposted this. What does that mean? That obviously means he's trying to do this on purpose to Whit. Why is he?
He know.
Yeah.
At this point now, he knows, and he just gets a kick out of it. And then he's like, I bet Edmonton. He bet whatever he had left in his account after the Kentucky Derby. It might have been $1. Maybe $100.
It was the Belmont whip, but hey, the Oilers are down. But look, buddy, you got this here, buddy.
This is presented by Pink Whitney. I forgot that. I'm down in the dumps, but then you see the big monster 1.75 liter bottle that Merles is holding, and it fires me back up. It's tough right now to talk about the things you love, but you got to look forward. You got to look onward. We're on to Edmonton, and we're on to Pink Whitney. So the shots will be flowing. We are doing an appearance in Edmonton before Game 3. It's called the Ice House Business.
Ice House.
And we're going to be on the stage in the Moss Pit. So it's all about us bringing some good vibes. Big Cat will not be with us, but this is all presented by Pink Whitney, where we'll be
Yeah,
slugging
and
it.
actually there was a big rumor going around that Our Lady Peace was going to be singing there. It's actually RA doing karaoke of Our Lady Peace on
No,
stage.
he's got to do the Stones, dude.
Stones, yeah.
Oh, if you do
Contractually
Mick
obligated.
Jagger, that'd
He's
be
doing the
unreal.
Stones songs, but with the Our Lady Peace voice. So for you American listeners, Our Lady Peace is like an iconic Canadian band. I think they went a little bit more mainstream than the Tragically Hip, but nonetheless a very iconic Canadian band. Now, speaking of wacky plays, like let's go back to Mikkola, how he almost has the own goal,
Oh my!
and then all of a sudden, of all guys to join the rush, like I thought maybe we'd see Darnell with a rush tonight, a
That's
little
a
bit of
story.
offensive flair from the back end. But Mikkola and then that bomb, boys, and it goes back to what you talk about, these scratchy claws, Merles, the length of these D-men. Whether it's Mikkola jumping in there, almost scoring in his own net, and then going to score at the other end, or this fucking penalty kill. The smothering that these guys do. And right now, that's probably one of the biggest storylines, is that power play for the Edmonton Oilers has been neutralized to the point where we have Army trying to break down their power play.
Well, it's better than watching you on TNT try to do it. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, there's
That's
no
true.
fucking joke
That's true.
with that.
That's true.
I'm amazed. Like the only time they get like a quality chance is off the rush or an odd man break if they can get it. And even that, they're getting pestered to death. You know, like Ekholm comes out, scores the first goal, 1-0, 3 shots on goal in the first period. They didn't have
That
a
was
shot
their
on
first
goal.
shot of the game.
Their
9
first
minutes
shot
in,
of the
I
game,
think.
they scored. And I mean, they had nothing. They weren't doing anything. Second period, 4 shots on goal, 7 shots on goal after 2 periods. Game was right there, though. The game was right there. But when it was down, they couldn't get anything. They couldn't muster a thing. Anaconda chokehold. What are you calling it? Anaconda chokehold.
choke.
It is real.
And then
It is real.
the Edmonton. Yeah, like you said, Ekholm looks off Leon on a 2-on-1, and it gets through Bob's 5-hole, which apparently he hasn't let in a 5-hole goal. That's another Gregor tweet. I thought they showed a stat where he'd let in like 3 in the 5-hole, 4 bottom right, bottom left, but down low he's incredible. But they got to him. They beat him. One he probably wants back. Well, nope, didn't phase him one bit. He didn't have much work, but he was money every single time he needed to be. In Army, you mentioned the odd man rushes. Yeah, McDavid had the breakaway, the 2-on-1, that was their goal. It does seem like they just connect. They get no cycle game going. And they're pretty good in their own zone, too. I mean, in the offensive zone, they're flying around, they're making plays, and next thing you know, you got Leon playing with Connor because they got to muster up something, and the other lines aren't doing much. The Anaconda chokehold.
Can I read some quotes for you guys?
Yes.
Connor McDavid, I'm looking forward to people doubting us again. Coming home.
I like
boy.
that.
I got another
And
one
I don't
for
even
you.
think we've mentioned maybe possibly the biggest storyline coming out of this game. Barkov
McDavid's
didn't
new
play
tie?
again.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
McDavid's new tie.
No. I think he has to go back to the original
I
streak.
think
Yeah.
the fact that he's still wearing the same suit is everything you need to know. This one's over.
Well, another
This
quote.
one's over.
Hey, this is what we needed, Edmonton
Now
fans.
it's
Been saying
not
it
This
over.
is
Now it's
over.
back on.
Hey,
Guys,
Biz,
We're
I got
watching.
another.
We're gonna watch the Cup presented Game 4.
Biz, I
RA's
got
gonna
another
be the
quote.
drunkest guy in the stadium, and he's gonna be partying with Paul Maurice. He's gonna be giving Paul Maurice noogies in the coach's room at the bottom of the Rogers Center or Rogers Place or whatever Rogers bought and called it. You know you're sneaking in there Game 4, RA, with your squad.
Hey, I'm going to do what I can. Well, I mean, hopefully I won't have to sneak. But Whit, you mentioned Leon. I think the biggest point of the game was the penalty on Barkov. And you mentioned Barkov not coming back. I mean, it was a rougher penalty. I saw him jump with forearm shiver. I thought it was a bad penalty, a dumb penalty. It ended up being the difference in the game. I mean, there was still, 9:28 left when the penalty was called in the third period. And that was really the difference. Rodriguez made it 3-1. Pretty much lights out.
Evan Rodriguez. What about
Oh.
the signing of this guy?
Shout out Billy Zito.
After the game, he was interviewed. Emily Kaplan interviewed, just mentioning like, "Oh, you're rolling the team." He's like, "I'll play anywhere. 4th line, 1st line, power play, penalty kill, any way they need me." It seems like he's done that all year. Now he's on a top line, but he's up and down, or he can be up and down. You can put him anywhere, and he's got 3 goals through 2 games in the Cup final. The shot, Army and I were chatting about it. Bouchard just ripped it right on his tape. I think I think what happened is you get stuck in between, all right, I'm going to clear this, and then you maybe see someone open, and you end up like, what'd you call it, Army? Double trigger?
Double clutch?
Double clutch.
Double clutch. I can't speak right now. He double clutched it, and at the end just fires it right in his tape. And yeah, Army was like, I don't know if that he should have saved that, but it was a quick release. It was a great shot. And maybe he wasn't set because it had been on Bouchard's stick, and you're kind of like lackadaisical. I don't know. I'm not even blaming Skinner, but boom, 2-1.
Well, how about this? I'll say this. Leon has a line, and I know Biz has been on Leon. Leon said,
all I've said is if you're a top player in the world, like he needs to beat somebody one-on-one. He needs to kind of take over, like Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. They had their moments during their runs where they would take over games and stuff. I just haven't seen it yet. I'm not on him. I just think he's maybe struggling a little bit to his standard.
so Connor
for
had
his
his
standard,
quote. Here's Leon's quote. We can certainly be better. It starts with me. Whit, how do you feel about that
I
now?
love that.
The big
I
boys are.
absolutely love that.
I'll throw this out there. Would you start Skinner game 3 at home?
Skinner?
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
his
the
fault.
problem, arm dog.
I'm just throwing it out there.
You think it's
No,
Jack
no,
Campbell
no.
time?
I'm asking you if you
Is it
would.
That's
They
just
did it
Campbell
before.
trotted out.
That would be quite the move by Knobloch. I've seen
He
a lot
did it
from
before.
Knobloch.
Yeah,
petting
but
his
I feel
cats
like
in the
when
locker
he did it
before the
against
game.
Vancouver, Skinner was he was letting in goals from Zadorov against the glass, like shelf, beating him by his ear. I mean, he was fine. He's been fine. I mean, he hasn't stolen a game. Bobrov's given up one goal.
What if they trot out Miss Stanley game 3 at home in net, starting Tendy? No,
You're
Whit,
obsessed
what do you
with her.
think?
I'm out. I mean, we could
Jack
chuck the
Campbell or
walrus
Miss
in from the
Stanley?
commercial. We could chuck that walrus in. I don't want to blame Skinner right now. We could be chucking that walrus.
I'm
some
not
little
blaming him.
fish.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, like, it's a strategy. It's
No,
a
I
thing
think it
they've
goes
done.
back to Leon's quote that it starts. We got to be better. It starts
Yeah.
with me. And Biz made a great point. Those Penguins Cups, Malkin would take over series.
Mhm.
It wasn't just Sid. And in fairness, Leon's done that for 3 years now. He's been as good as McDavid, and right now he's not dominating games. And yes, when you're the two-headed monster, as Oilers fans or people who don't like the Oilers claim to say, they're just two-man team. You got to be a monster. And right now he's not. And McDavid's doing his thing. He had a point tonight. He hasn't scored, but McDavid is creating. He's flying around. He's drawing penalties. Like I'm not at all like, oh, McDavid's got to do a lot more. Score-wise, yes, but his game is there. Leon's maybe not.
Edmonton, yeah, their penalty killing streak was stopped at 34. Imagine 34 in a row. Florida 1 for 6 on the power play. Edmonton 0 for 4. They couldn't get it done tonight. Shot, so 29-19. I mean, Florida was dominating all game. Donnell Nurse, he got hurt in the first. I think he played one shift after that. I know we've been critical of his game, but I mean, it's still not a guy you want to leave the lineup with, right?
No, not at all. Especially with CeCe getting healthy scratch. Desharnais draws back in. So you realize that Nurse has had his moments, but he also could change games when he's physical, and you saw him against Dallas after getting called out. So that's a big loss. I don't care if some Oilers fans are like, he shouldn't be playing, scratch him. When he's on, and he couldn't even play tonight. But I wanted to
Knobloch said in his post game that he'll be good to go for next game, no matter what.
that seems like it's more.
Are you guys getting the
Scratch.
sense it's kind of like Vegas, or not Vegas, Florida last year, where all of a sudden you're looking throughout the course of the final and they got guys who are banged up who they need kind of be in that core group who helps them. It just feels like this is taking a lot out of the Edmonton Oilers, even going back to the start they had in the season. Like, it's been a long run of, and fuck, I mean, we talk about the route they had in the West. Like, they probably had the easier route, but it seems like the injuries are starting to mount and they're starting to chip away. Like, we talked and laughed about it on the stream tonight. I had no idea that Evander Kane, there was rumor that he's suffering this sports hernia. So that's a fucking main piece that's kind of not playing half of what they need him to. And all of a sudden you got Darnell Nurse. I don't know if Fogel's going to miss games because of that knee. We haven't really talked about that. That's a 5. That's a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Guess who
Yeah.
hit Nurse, by the way, they're saying. Because he just kind of disappeared out of the game on us. We just were like, what's going on with this? Rodriguez.
Oh
No, really.
Oh.
Rodriguez
game.
caught
What
him
a
with a
game.
hit, and
Wow.
he
Have you
tried
seen
one
the hit,
shift.
Army?
No, I haven't seen it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, Rodriguez, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points in 19 games so far. The first year down there, too, a 4-year, $12 million deal, getting mad bang for the buck. And Biz, to go back to Leon and Connor, I mean, you go back to the Vancouver series, there was a lot of chatter that those guys were hurt. I mean, Timmy Peel, former ref, tweeted out that he heard they were injured. So, I mean, they obviously beat Dallas, but you can go back to that. They still hurt, and that's why they're maybe not performing at the level that we've been used to over the years.
No,
Yeah.
and I heard rumblings too. I've heard different things. I heard the sports hernia thing was in fact Connor, so I was off base on that. How long have you been hearing that it was Evander Kane with the sports hernia, guys?
He announced it. He announced it like a month ago or something. Like in the first series, I think he said that he was playing with it or something, that he's dealing with this.
All right.
Yeah,
That
he
doesn't happen
hasn't
very
really
often.
made that much of an impact. But I'm very interested to see about Barkov. He went to get up right when he caught that forearm shiver. I mean, kind of like his bicep, elbow. He only gets 2 minutes, but Barkov went to get up and went right back down. He was kind of mangled going off. You don't know if it's his jaw. You don't know if he's got a concussion. That changes this series enormously. If he can't play, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it is weird that Knobloch would say Nurse will be fine next game if he just sat there for 56 minutes. Like, well, if he's fine next, it's just weird that it'd be an injury where you can't play one shift, but you're going to be fine next game. Do you know what I'm saying?
I saw the hit. It was a glancing, forechecking, finish your check hit where he kind of spun off into him and caught him in front of him. So I don't know if it was like his arm or if it was, maybe concussion. I don't know, and he didn't play. I'm not sure.
This is the scary thing about the Panthers. Like, Reinhart was quiet tonight. Verhaeghe had one great chance, I remember, but he was kind of quiet tonight. Kachuk hasn't really done much offensively. He's been in the mix, and they're still up 2-0. Bobrovsky, the Bob.
He didn't have to do anything tonight, though.
I know, but still, when he does, he's right there. I agree. Yeah. He wasn't tested that much, but 1 goal through 120 minutes of this series, and the first game being just robbery everywhere. It's like they are a fine or a well-oiled machine, this Panthers team.
G just sent over a tweet. I guess Nurse, he refused to leave the bench. He wanted to sit there and support his teammates. So I think that's probably why he was there. He couldn't play. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to sit in the locker room. He wanted to be there to support the team, even if he couldn't play. But
yeah, Elliott said that he was between every whistle. Every time there was a whistle, he would go out onto the ice and try to do a little skate. And he just physically couldn't bring himself to skate, but he refused to leave the bench because of Zdeno Chara.
So that's why, going back to what Whit said, I'm surprised that he said that he'll be good to go. That's kind of a crazy statement given what even was just said. So. Who knows? Maybe they got the Russian gas there in Edmonton. They just can't travel with it or something.
Also, too, there's 2 days off. There's an extra day between games, too. So maybe he took that into account, instead of every other day.
Yeah, that's for our travel to Edmonton tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
12 hours. I got to travel to Sweden quicker than I can to Edmonton for some reason here. But we're talking about last year. We had the Vegas in 5. Vegas won 5-2, 7-2. First 2 games. Looked like it's dead. It's done in the water. Florida did bounce back, won game 3. But then they lost that game 4, and then we knew it was all over after that. But it feels a lot like that series. But if Edmonton can win that next one, then you never know.
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is, boys. It's got to be. When you're looking for answers, it's got to be the Edmonton crowd. It's got to be the vibe. It's got to get them going. They need answers. They've got nothing. Anaconda chokehold is set in. They need the fans to come in. Stanley Cup lady's got to get her hand in there, grab that Anaconda by the throat, just start ripping it off the throat. Then everyone's getting in there. Everyone's got to grab a hand in there and rip this thing off. They got to get it going. That's the only way.
Stanley, even.
I think it starts with the heartbeat of the fandom, and that's the moss pit. So you need to really get that pumping pregame, bring that energy inside, and I agree with you. Run with that momentum. Because they got nothing right now. They don't have much of that momentum. And it's kind of like, well, we could go through every guy. And you mentioned those guys who are quiet for the Florida Panthers. Fuck, man, all those guys are smart hockey players, and they can play the defensive side of the puck. And we've already touched on it. The last half of the game, man, they couldn't get a sniff. Florida has been able to play any way you want all season long, and they can turn it on most of the time. And the fact that Edmonton wasn't able to take advantage of that game 1 when they were snoozing, I don't know, boys. It's it's gloomy.
And some tough numbers here, too, Biz. Teams that go up 2-0 in the final have won 49 out of 54 series. That's a 91% clip. The 5 times the teams have come back, the 42 Leafs, believe it or not, 66 Canadians, 71 Canadians, 09 Penguins, and, of course, the last team to do it, 2011 Boston Bruins.
So that's what I was going to ask you about, RA. You've kind of seen this and lived this before. So if you're Whit, how do you stay positive? How do the first few games go for Boston? Was there one that they should have won that they didn't? And then was there one that they laid an egg?
No, they could have won both games. One went to OT, and then I know Thomas misplayed another one. They could have come back to Boston up 2-0. The games were that close. But at the same time, you win the next one, it's a 2-1 series. It's almost like you didn't lose the first two. It's like, all right, you're down 2-1 after 3 and going to game 4. So, I mean, it's not over yet. Those numbers are daunting if you're an Edmonton fan. But all you can do is worry and concentrate the next game, and you win that, and then you worry about game 4.
What's the one thing? What's the one thing that's bread and butter that has been
The PP.
Edmonton's power play.
what is going on?
The PP.
The fucking Panthers. That's what's
Credit
going
to
on.
the Panthers. Absolute credit to the Panthers.
It's the Murley special. But
Yep,
I do like that one of the teams that did that was the 09 Penguins, the team I was unfortunately traded from, because that's Crosby and that's Malkin, and that maybe means Leon comes back, right? You got our Crosby's McDavid. Sounds crazy. He doesn't have a cup. But that dominant, that's what Crosby was like. That's what McDavid's like. But he had Malkin. And so can Leon go home after calling himself out and have that Malkin magic, that dominating performance in Game 3 and Game 4 for that?
Yeah, well, there's 0 for 7 in the 2 games so far. Merles, any parting thoughts? What is Edmonton going to do different next time? I know they're getting choked out, but what do you see that they need to improve on other than the power play?
Yeah, I don't see much. Like Whit said, the goaltending was fine for me. I don't see a problem with that. You got to score goals, and when you can't score goals, I was taught at a young age, you go to the blue paint, go to the net. You got to just get the bodies there, find a way, go there, fight through. It's a battle of will, and I think Florida right now is winning that battle because they lost last year in this position. If you ever listen to Kachuk on his interviews, it's like we found out how to win at this time of year. We know what it takes now to win. Get to that blue paint. Maybe, I don't know. I've been trying to put Darnell Nurse at forward for about 4 years now. Put him at forward and say every time you're out there, go and stand in that blue crease.
We're putting Miss Stanley in that.
He's been saying this since
Walrus
Darnell came in the league.
What if Knobloch comes back with a Draisaitl Nurse forward line?
Yeah, just go. But Darnay and Nurse, go stand in that blue paint. Don't move. And then Connor and Dreiss can wheel around. Got to get to that Bobrovsky's eyes. Take his eyes away.
I'll land tomorrow, and I'll ring a cowbell right down the fucking downtown of Edmonton till that Game 3 starts, and ring it with you and say Nurse with Draisaitl on a line. Who would be the other guy? Who's the other guy?
Connor Brown.
I'd put Vinny up front too. Fuck it. Is that who you said they should do too?
Go belligerent style.
Go stand there. Don't move. You guys aren't allowed to move from the blue paint. You stand there the whole time. Connor
it's like
and the German will get the puck.
You've been stiff-legged and not playing up to your capabilities the first 2 games. Your punishment? You got Vinny the Tin Man on your left, and you. Oh my God, that would be just something else.
The
Darnell
power play.
Nurse.
Boys, it's they got to get in the lab. They look human. They look like stuck, like they're showing all their cards, and Florida's reading them. And that power play has always been a thing that's been able to spark them, been able to get them going. I know even last series was a little struggle. They figured it out. They got it going. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out.
No chance without it.
Do you have something that you can maybe draw on so the YouTube watchers right now can see what you're talking about what they should do with the power play? Or
I can describe.
All right,
I know. Go into it.
Okay, let's see. Let's hear
they
this.
End up doing this.
Here we go, RA.
Here it is. They finally set it up in the offensive zone. They get it to Leon on the half wall.
Okay.
Where Leon likes it.
Which side?
If you're facing the net on the right side where Leon likes it.
All right.
Leon gets it. He starts scooting he starts doing the little 2-legged thing to the net. He gets there. Connor's down low in the corner, dishes it down to Connor, takes out that D-man as he drives through. Now, the net front Florida D is going to jump down quickly on McDavid, not let him get a tornado started up top.
Yep.
But he's going to bounce it behind the net to the backdoor guy who's going to drop down and they're going to come up the other side. Well, everyone's flooding that side with pressure, trying to stop the tornado, the McDavid tornado. They're going to sneak attack down low, below the goal line, use the back of the net, get it out the other side, get it to that weak side, and have guys rolling in just for chances and shots.
I can picture this.
Yeah, I like it, Army.
You lost me a tornado, man. All right, where are you at?
I love the way he describes it. Honestly, the way you guys are breaking down the games recently, it's been awesome. A lot of my friends have reached out. Just you simplify, you kind of put it in layman's terms. But I mean, I wanted to ask you: do you think the power play, the lack of it with Edmonton, has to do with the coaching, coaching experience difference between Knobloch and Maurice? You think that's a huge
on the
factor?
Power play?
Yeah, like basically
Well, I think
coaching
Glenn
experience.
Gullickson's had the power play in Edmonton for a while now, and it's kind of been a well-oiled machine. I think for me, it's the first time. You know, they were getting praised a few series ago because their power play was just untouchable, obviously, and it's been like that for years now. But it's like they have an answer for everything, right? It's like, oh, they're set up in their 1-3-1 setup or whatever guys do now. They don't do that. They do all these different plays. They run all these schemes. It's like, yeah, it's like they're untouchable forever because
there's no formation really.
Yeah, they're throwing 10 different kinds of smoke at them, and it's like they're like, what smoke is this? I don't even know what's going on. As a penalty killer, I always thought as a penalty killer in meetings, you're pre-scouting, you watch them, you have a plan. Okay, Edmonton forever has been the unplannable team. It's like you never know what they're going to do.
Well,
right now, they look like obvious.
So they do have a plan, though. They just have a lot of answers to what they see. It kind of goes back to Colorado. They'll see a shift in the formation, and they'll be able to combat it by moving the pieces around, right? And like you're saying, Edmonton has been always to kind of figure out, okay, where do we move the puzzle in order to execute it through whatever it is. Florida has obviously done an incredible job the first two games, but so did Dallas, didn't they, the first two games? Mind you, Dallas didn't take many penalties. So it's not like they were getting as many cracks at it. So you would have said by this time, Edmonton should have probably figured out this Florida PK.
Well, I think it's a lot of pressure, and I think they're hitting it at the right time. I think the net front D attacking down on that Draisaitl McDavid play
They're all attacking.
They're all attacking, but when they stop that play right there and they're making them move it now, they get jammed. They're jammed up huge. And for whatever reason, when it gets up on a scramble play to Bouchard up top, he doesn't want to go to the far side. He wants to ram it back down into the shit, into like Leon again and give it to him and let him set it up again. But it's like they're full bore pressure. So they got to get in the lab. They got to get on the whiteboard. They got to start clicking some ideas of how they're going to beat this pressure system that they're doing. And it can't start from Connor in the corner because they're jumping him right away. And that's killing everything immediately.
Wouldn't you say, though, that I actually love what you're talking about, just to relieve the pressure, go to the other side. But any power play, no matter if it's the best or the worst, at one point you say, guys, we just got to shoot. We just got to get some shots from the top with a tip, a rebound, traffic, and Bouchard has the cannon to do it. So if you want to roll McDavid up and try to, the mini tornado and just dish it up, even if there's a couple blocked, which Florida's great at, you got to keep and stick with that, because what happens is that's when chaos is created off some rebound, even a missed net.
It stops the pressure. When you shoot, they have to collapse and stop. So you got to jump on loose pucks now, though.
You talked about that play where he drives through. What about the one where he drives through, he drops it down to McDavid and he one touches it up for the one timer? Because sometimes they have that. They have the guy drive, like let's say it's Draisaitl, you're saying, who's on that half wall on the right side. So he kind of attacks a little bit, moves it down to McDavid, where McDavid is literally just looking to one touch it back to anybody walking in. Now, Bouchard's a righty.
Yeah. So he can the only thing.
He can walk right into that on that side, on that same side, one touch. So I want to say they might have done it. So I kind of didn't understand the first way you described it by going behind the net, going over. You'll have to fucking reach out to me when we get off the stream. But the one touch for the one timer is just a lot more simple for me. So that's why I said that one.
Well, that's just to generate shots.
Anything else?
Definitely make adjustments. And one play I've run it before. You do that, and you have Bouchard like this, but the whole world knows he's shooting it. So that's why they're blocking it. What they need to do is have Hyman pop all the way up behind Bouchard. Bouchard makes one more drop. That's how you get a sneak attack shot.
Hyman's 50-goal guy.
Yep.
He hasn't done
I haven't
anything.
noticed.
Boys, I just got a text from Knobloch. We're doing a Zoom for the power play tomorrow
Yeah. Hey,
after their 1 o'clock skate.
I'll give
Imagine us zooming
Knobloch.
in there.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit though on the 4-on-4. He pulled the goalie
Yeah,
to make it a
awesome.
5-on-4 to create another power play. The only mistake he made, I talked about on the stream, was he did it off the face-off, and Florida knew they were pulling 5 guys, so he put out his 4 big penalty killers. Next time it's 4-on-4, wait till they have their small skilled guys out, then pull the goalie, so they don't have guys that know how to penalty kill against that unit.
Change him on the fly. But the PK, and we have to give them a little bit more credit. They've basically decided, all right, we're pressuring everywhere. So McDavid gets in the corner, jump to him, other forward, jump to the wall. It's just everyone goes. And by doing that, you're like, yes, we're leaving ourselves open, but it has to be 3 perfect passes.
Perfect.
It has to be 3 quick, perfect passes, and you're going to give up a grade A chance. I think they're willing to, instead of letting them set up and just fire it around, they're like, let's just get burnt with aggression if we're going to get burnt.
All right, folks. This game review segment is presented by ESPN. ABC and ESPN Plus are the home of the Stanley Cup Final this year. It's been an unreal playoff so far. Saturday night, Game 1 down in Sunrise. Edmonton's going to be down there for the first 2. Then up to Edmonton for Games 3 and 4. The Chiclets crew is going to be there. We've had some unreal series. ESPN, ABC did a killer job last series. Rangers, Florida Panthers, just an amazing series. And they got this one too. You could watch on the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus.
I'd love to clip this and send it to their locker room and watch the reactions of them listening to us.
I'd be
talk
like,
about
oh
the
my
power.
God. This
Stanley
fucking
Cup
guy."
lady's going to lead the meeting, Biz.
He's like, I have a video for you guys. It's the
It's her shoot. It's her
the fix
shooting.
to the
Ping,
power play.
it's her shooting ping pong balls.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. But
We gotta shoot more. Ping, ping.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and just stick to getting Connor the beer after the game. When they
That's
win
true.
Game 3 and Game 4 up there, I'm going to make the beer run for the guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the power play anymore.
yeah,
Hey,
I think obviously.
I got cough on the line, boy.
Oh, it's been
Cough.
big though. It's been
All the
big right
boys.
now. Like you're playing against an over-aggressive Florida team that doesn't care. They've taken more than enough penalties against. Like I thought coming in this series, boys, didn't you? Oh yeah, you want to play that way? Okay, wait till you see this power play. They got to figure it out. They got to get it going.
It's going to be
Boys.
much different. Obviously, the home
that
crowd's going to
cough?
be crazy.
That's cough. He wants the game notes PowerPoint presentation tomorrow. 1
Burrows,
p.m.
let's get in the lab.
right
I
before
thought
they
he
go
wanted
on
for the flight home.
No, they're staying. They canceled their travel because of all the sleeping analytics now. So they're going to stay there to adjust to the time zone a little bit. So they're doing 1 o'clock practice. We're going to do a quick 10-minute Zoom PowerPoint game notes power play presentation. They're going to work on it, and then they're flying home after.
I'll have a
Busy.
business.
Do you know how
With
they're
the
going?
Normatex on.
Biz, you gonna show a presentation how they beat the Anaconda chokehold? You got it broken down?
I'm going to fight an anaconda in the moss pit to teach them to get out of the chokehold. Because right now, boys, like, listen, I can, we got to chew clock here. We got to talk about the game and stuff. And like, so we're trying to sell this. Oh yeah, the Oilers have a chance. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say I can't spew any more of that bullshit. This is over. This series is over.
Sweep?
I think it's over in 5
I
games.
love this, guys.
What do you mean you love this?
Connor
Barkov,
loves
Every
this.
time you say this, the opposite.
This is the effort that the Oilers put forth in the second half of the game led to probably Paul Maurice and Barkov saying, like, why even come back? These guys are a joke. Stay in here. We got this one. Put the normies on. Fuck here. Here's a first-class ticket. Take an earlier flight. Get ahead of it. Adjust to the time zone in Edmonton. We'll see you there. That's where this series is
He's
at
like,
right now.
Barkov, go and then go to the mail at the Oilers arena and grab the Chiclets power play presentation that they mailed to the team, and don't let them see it.
He's
man.
he's like a Russian spy. He's a Finnish
like,
Russian spy.
They get their hands on that DVD that we.
Yeah. It's like Road Trip. We should make our own version of Road Trip.
He
to
opens the
intercept
case.
the-
It's not there. Connor has
Austin,
that.
Massachusetts.
Connor has
Yeah.
the DVD in his hand. Barkov
Sasha's
opens
like-
the case.
Sasha's like,
he's like,
Paul,
oh, fuck.
Paul, I got the tape. But it's that Stanley Cup lady shooting ping pongs out of her pussy. It's not the power play. It's a fake.
Biz, we didn't mention last game how fucking Connor getting harassed on a beer run. First off, why is Connor making a beer run, first of all? And then he had like all those dudes fucking all over him, and that's fucking brutal, dude. Like,
the guy was,
bottomless
I mean,
guy.
there's one thing to sit there and film him. He was like wrapping his arm
trying
around
to hug him.
and shit.
No. That was Kodak Black putting the hex on him. I don't think anybody caught that. And that's why the power play's been cursed ever since. He had the voodoo doll out.
Has
Maybe
Kodak
that's what
Black ever been back to the Panthers since he like teed up that
Never,
girl in the
he
box?
never left. He's been there ever since.
Biz,
He's
maybe
like,
it was a
he's like Kanye hanging out at the Atlanta Stadium.
He
He's got a
signed
box.
Rodriguez, actually. That wasn't even Zito. It was Kodak.
Biz, maybe it was the child of the two people at the airport who were hugging Connor on either side. That picture from years ago. Remember that super awkward photo,
Yep.
dude? Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Hey, but
touching people.
then it's kind of been a weird week, like because you just mentioned that with them kind of swarming them. By the way, you guys talked about this, I think, on Game Notes. Why is Connor McDavid going to do his own beer run after they
No
close out his
security.
stadium? Which is
I don't
crazy.
get it.
Which is crazy. How does he not have security? Right, that's another one. And
He's like, no, I got it. I'll just go get the beers.
You got to have a
And-
buddy. You got to have a Migs that goes and gets that
Yeah.
for you. You know, you got
Vegas
a guy that
insider.
the Vegas
And then-
insider. Like, dude, go
or
get
just
the
be
beer.
like, hey, Ryan McLeod, go get the beers. You know, like, it's
And then I don't really find it. Well, I guess there's a correlation between. Then he gets asked, "What's the best thing about Edmonton?" And then he answers that it gets dark.
The days are
late
long.
here.
the days
The
are long.
days are long.
Yeah.
How, what? That was like an all-time
Yeah,
bad
he
one.
seemed to- I think the question kind of hit him out of nowhere.
You
He-
expect threw him a curveball there? Was it a weird
Yes,
worded
yeah,
question?
And I think that
Everybody
he just was
respect.
like, I don't know. He didn't sound so sure.
It looked like he was laughing too at someone behind like the scrum, kind of like someone was walking by or something.
And then he probably imagined like they won the Western Conference and he's out of the locker room, he's showered, he's ready to go, and it's still light out on his beer run. But then all of
Yeah.
a sudden he was harassed and basically like groped by a couple of diehard Oilers fans as he was trying to load some beers into the car.
Oh, do you think he was referring to the video that it's still light out when he was getting his beers after the game?
No,
Whoa,
I think
did
that
we just
maybe he
solve it?
thought,
Oh,
I think we solved
because
it.
if it would have been dark, he would have been sneakier.
Are
No
you
one
the
would've
Russian
seen him.
spy army?
I don't know. Am I?
Shit. Boys, you take a look at the goal scorers so far. If you were to play this in a prop, Earls, you would be a billionaire. I mean, Ekholm's got the only goal for Edmonton. You look at Florida. Verswegi got his 10th. Yeah, Verswegi. Rodriguez got 3. Then the other 3 goal scorers: Ekblad, Luosterainen, and Mikkola. Like, nobody would ever thought these would be the goal scorers. So, again, if you're a Panthers fan, your stars haven't really exploded other than Verswegi. So,
is
same
there
thing for
any
Edmonton.
chance Leon gets suspended for that Barkov hit?
I don't think
No,
no.
not
No.
when they're down 2-0. They can't do that to them.
Oh, if RA
Then they-
says
Maybe if
no, then it's
Barkov's
no.
out, that's like that could be like an old school Mark Messier kind of elbow to knock a guy out. I mean, Mess was known as one of the most vicious competitors the game's ever seen. The guy went around murdering people. And
'Cause he was
I
on
don't know,
fucking
maybe
mushrooms.
Leon catches fire, Barkov's out, and it's one of those Mess moments.
Do you
I
guys
don't want
remember
that.
last time we were in Edmonton? They were down 2-0. We were in that game, and McDavid, would he score in the first minute?
First shit.
Place was going nuts, but then they took the 5-minute major right after.
Kane
and that changed.
on Kadri.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Kadri got hurt, but yeah, similar stuff going on. 2-0. We're gonna be up there, but
I remember
know.
World Juniors one time.
bummed
Jason Doig did something when I was little. I remember Grapes coming on. He's like, this is going to change it around for Canada. They're going to get something done here because Doig did something like crazy, like just crushed a guy or something and got like a huge penalty and turned him around apparently. So those things happen.
Who should be the kamikaze if somebody does it? Like, who should be the guy to do something
I'm
crazy?
saying Leon already did it.
Yeah, somebody could
Really?
expendable, right?
Oh, you think? Oh,
Well,
I don't
Barkov-
think that was purposeful. Obviously, RA did on the
RA
live
did.
stream.
But then he
Well,
said no
kinda, like,
suspension.
jumped a little.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely jumped. I mean, but yeah, I don't think there's a suspension. He didn't get thrown out of the game. There wasn't a misconduct. I mean, it would in the regular season maybe would it be a suspension possibly, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do that at all today.
Mhm.
G just sent a hilarious picture. I don't know if he
Yeah.
can pop it up here or not. It's
It's
business
awesome.
boy DJ Khaled or how they say Khalid with Bettman. Like I don't know what the origin of this picture is. Look at that fucking. He said this to the
He's
text
rubbing his
thread,
tummy.
too. Yeah,
Give a little
Hey,
tummy
did you
rub.
hear about
He's-
the time I
he-
beat Charles at the park when I was doing the TNT match?
he's treating Bettman like fucking fans are treating McDavid the other day, fucking glomming all over him and shit.
Who's going to be in Edmonton? What celebrities are going to be there? Charles Barkley was all over the broadcasts. They had DJ Khalid
Wayne was
there.
Our
Wayne.
Lady Peace is going.
And then
Stanley Cup lady.
Is Wayne
Stanley
going,
Cup
Biz?
lady.
is Wayne coming,
Yeah,
Biz?
Your Oilers
I don't know.
girl you guys had on.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to think a bunch of stars will be in town, right? I mean, it's a the
Yeah,
Stanley Cup.
RA's
Yeah.
girl is the #1 star, actually.
Oh, she might be the savior.
Come on now. Lay
Well,
off,
since
lay
I
off.
think we talked about this on the
Yeah.
or on the stream,
The
but
live
we haven't
stream.
talked it yet on the podcast, have we?
No.
How the
No, we
when we had her on, like people were saying it was one of the most awkward interviews of all time. Well, we were starstruck. We were surprised with that. Speaking of kamikaze attacks, like RA, we had no idea she was coming on. I thought she was a fake at first, but everybody confirmed her hand tattoos and that she's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was getting catfished at all. I know everyone's been playing that, and I know it didn't maybe go as smooth as we'd hoped. And I kind of felt bad out there because it's been a whirlwind week for her. I mean, you know, she did a fun, goofy thing, and I think she kind of was a little shell shocked. And I think when the lights come on, I think she might have been a little deer in the headlights because she's a really funny gal. She's got a great personality, and I don't think people were able to see that when we had her on the other day. So, you know, we're going to meet up at Edmonton this week. Maybe we'll have a couple
All right,
pops
you
and-
are smitten over this
Oh,
girl.
it's just
You
ridiculous.
look at you right now.
I'm smitten. No, I'm not smitten. No, it
You're
was honestly
smitten.
like a funny thing to like, you know, just to fucking keep me occupied for the
The
week.
greatest
Trying
thing
to-
ever, like if it's not going to be an interview, awkward interview, the first question I think I asked her was like, how does it feel right now? And then Biz just came over the top with, are you dating RA?
Yeah, we're getting right to it. Well, they've been talking via text for a week. Are you kidding me? I give like 2-word answers via text. This guy's going paragraphs back and forth. Lance romance over here. But hey, the offer's on the table, man. She seemed like an awesome chick. Very Alberta, and we'll pay for everything. Like she can come to dinner with us, and obviously it won't be as awkward. I think we've broken the ice a little bit, and it was a good time meeting her. All right, thanks for bringing her on.
No, thanks. And yeah, I'm glad I got her. Like I said, she's a fun gal. We'll see her this week, and I think if she pops back on the pod again, people will see a little more of her personality.
Are you representing her as like an agent kind of thing right now, RA?
We would jokingly that was the other thing when I emailed that porn site. Like I didn't do that willy nilly on my own. Like she was like, oh, go ask, see what they're offering or whatever. Like she asked me to go.
So you are an agent.
They were in
You
your
are an
favor,
agent.
so.
I didn't
Well, I'm
know
not
that.
getting a cut, so
Yet.
So-
Well, I thought you called a newspaper or something on her.
no. I
on her behalf.
emailed one of those porn sites that was in the TMZ article, allegedly offering her money, and she's like, "Do you want to reach out?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll
Did they
send an email."
confirm and did they make an offer?
No, they fucking gave me a standard like reply. Oh, we'll get back to you, and I still haven't got back to them yet. So
Let me ask you this:
I don't think we were gonna go that way anyways.
What if Brazzers.com hears
We-
this and comes to you and says, "RA, we want you to do it," and you would get $200K and she would get $2 million,
for a
and
sex
she agreed to it. Would you proceed and have a sex tape for $200,000?
no fucking way, buddy. No
Okay,
way.
all right. Whoa, pump
Yeah.
the brakes. Then they go back to their office. They talk it out. They say, "Let's double it up," and then add another $100K bonus, $500K. Would you
But
do it?
If you want me in a fucking sex
I'm not
tape,
saying I want it.
I know
There's
you
some
know. Well,
sick-
if someone's
there's some-
dude, I wouldn't do it for anything less than a fucking $1 million, and that's not like extortion. Nobody wants to see me fuck on camera, Biz. I'll tell you that.
All
That's
right,
all
All
I'm
right,
gonna
so-
do.
somebody's chucking you $500K. You're saying no?
Welcome back, Whitney Wi-Fi.
I mean, I don't. It's I have no. I don't think I'd do it. I honestly, I mean, you know.
For 500, you said $1 million.
I would know.
go.
I started $1 million, but $500K, no. I mean, I would probably even multiple millions. Yeah, if I'm going to humiliate myself for once again for eternity on the internet,
What if
Self-admittedly.
you put on a
what do you mean?
performance?
Yeah,
and
what
you're
if-
just like a rock star.
then it's a double bonus. I'll get a couple million and fucking be a stud on camera. But
What
yeah,
would be your finishing move?
Well, his
Oh,
name.
no, I'm not doing.
What's his
finishing
name?
moves
Whit's
right now,
going to
all right.
throw up.
We're down 0-2. I'm not doing finishing moves. All right,
Oh,
doing
dropping
it, Biz.
fucking low.
Who's like,
Hey,
but
you know
to
what
change
would
it.
be Hey, you know what would be perfect? The oil driller.
No, get out. Merles, what do you got?
Oh my god.
Like, who is the biggest stars right
Right in
now
the
in
mosh
like
pit.
Western Canada? Like, do they have any big musicians or
I have
actors,
no
actresses?
clue.
Bieber's
Like, I don't
already
know nothing.
leaves. Bieber's
Yeah,
already
Bieber's
leaves.
leaves. Like, I don't.
Colby
like,
Armstrong.
Twain.
Celine Dion's Montreal Canadiens.
Brett
Blaze,
Kissel, our guy Brett
Vancouver.
Kissel.
Oh,
Brett
that's
Kissel.
right.
Oh,
Kissel.
Good call, G.
Brett
Yeah,
Kissel.
long ago guest. Yeah.
He'll be
Holy
up
shit.
there.
He's
And
an
who else
ambassador
we'll
for
see?
them, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that people have been hounding him online because of their
Their
record
record?
at home when he sings the anthem. I think
Oh,
I
really?
think that, buddy, that's how psycho these fans are. I think they need to lead with the Ace of Spades Game 3. Brett Kissel coming out.
He's our big cat.
I think
But
we
it
have
is-
him sing the national anthem at Ice House at 3 p.m. to kick off our meet and greet.
Let's go. Or
Let's
do it
go.
at the fucking moss pit.
Whit,
Let's go.
Whit, what do you say?
What's his record? I love
I
the
don't
guy too.
What if
But
him
if you're
and Big
telling me he's
what's
like
his
1 and
record?
12, it's like
What if Big Cat does the American anthem and then he does the Canadian, so it's a double jinx reverse? The Mongolian reversal to beat the Anaconda chokehold.
there we
The
go.
Mongolian reversal to beat the Anaconda chokehold. There it is, folks.
Oh my God, that might do it.
I
That
want you on
might
straight.
do it.
Holy shit.
Unless Sasha Barkov, the Russian spy, intercepts it.
If he gets a hold of these plans.
He's like, I've tracked Big Cat's plane.
What strain did you have tonight, Biz? I could want some of that. Holy shit.
I've
Good stuff.
been off my rocker the last like 3-4 days and just
Nothing wrong with that, buddy. Hey, some tough news for the online hockey community. Cap Friendly, bought by the Washington Capitals. This is crazy. I don't know. Like, I guess what like data does this site have that other teams can't access? I mean, they're gonna keep it through the draft and then shut it down. And I don't know if they're gonna do like a pay site or whatever. I just don't understand the like logic or what the reasoning. I don't know.
I would
Merle,
assume
anybody
that
chime in?
they're gonna, besides just ruining the website for everyone. I mean, they will probably be able to use their technology and however they use it for their own team. And I kind of agree with you, RA. I saw it. I was like, everyone already has a cap number guy, and you figure out that you have all your scouts and your GM, and you're making all these hockey decisions. What could this website help them with decision making for the Capitals organization? I guess I still don't know. But
What
I
if
was
it's about
shocked-
taking the resource away from someone else? Because
That's what it's doing. It's a
yeah,
cock
when I read
block.
it, I read that like multiple front office executives on every team use that website to complete their job. Like for their job, they use that on their daily
The
day to
cap
day.
calculator.
So if
this-
they take that away, it helps. It's an
This-
advantage.
So you're saying
So-
their cap number guys are kind of like fraudulent a little bit?
No, I think that you don't have to spend as much in that department because all that information's available. So
The
now
infrastructure.
all of a sudden this website has been created. I don't know how many people there are behind the scenes. My assumption would be at least like probably 10, 15 people.
I think there were three like main guys who started the site. I'm sure they have employees, but I
Do
think
they
three
still
main
have a
guys
job?
cashed in.
So I don't know about that, but my understanding is there was a bidding war between other teams, and the Capitals were the ones who have the highest bid. I read the text I got out from a Washington Capitals employee who reached out unsolicited to say, hey, if you need any breakdown of this situation, I don't think I need to read the whole text thread. You could go on our live stream about how I read it out, but long story short, like even I said, like, yeah, this is benefiting you and no one else. This is a straight up cock block. And then he replied back, I think I was talking to Chat GPD, and I thought this was my buddy here. I had the most basic legal documentation
It
responses.
was a
where
PR firm like reaching out, Biz.
via my friend. So
Yeah.
go to the game stream and you'll see. I think it was in the third
Mhm.
period or sorry, right before the end of the second where I read this thing out. I'm not going to
But
read the whole
explain
thing.
this to me, guys. Right now, if you're a, I guess, math or analytical wizard in the game, start a site right now, buddy.
Yep.
You'll be enormous. I already mentioned Puckpedia.
Yeah,
So
Puckpedia.
you
I mean,
think- do they already do all the same things? Like, why did you say that they'll be the ones to take over?
because they've kind of been doing a similar thing. And you remember Capgeek a few years ago? That was the pioneer, and then unfortunately the gentleman who started that site passed away. He was sick, and then that's when Cap Friendly come in after that. And it just feels like Puckpedia was appears to be the next one. I mean, based on what I've seen on the site, I think they're pretty good guys who run that site. But it feels like they'll probably get big to a certain point.
They'll
and then
get
they
bought too.
might get bought out. But I mean, this information's out there. These guys are getting it somewhere. I just, I think this stuff will always be there if you sniff it out. But I'll tell you, as a guy who does, all the outline stuff, it's a incredible resource. I mean, we use it every day. You guys use it every day. Just
I use it
contract.
all
Well,
the
you
time.
boys, it would be just as simple as you have to track every player's contract situation.
Contract.
That's it.
But
That's
then
all it
also,
is.
Biz,
Get a
then
big
you got
filing
the
cabinet.
long-term injury. You got LTIR money on the bottom.
Trades, yeah.
You have
a lot of data in there.
you have the that had the drafts and what picks they had for each round the next few years. They had guys who's when their deals would end, which isn't that hard, but I guess looking into it, thinking about it, it's a lot more work than you think right off the bat when you just go to the site and it's so easy.
No doubt, it's an incredible website. I wasn't taking it away from that. Just like probably the most, I would assume there's things that are extremely more valuable from all the assets that it offers. Now, if we were to create our own, what type of things would we have on it?
Wrench size, that would be.
That's
We'd
Right,
have to
guys.
talk to our analytics guy, Pasha, but I think he's on another suspension right now.
Ooh, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, no shit. He might be donezo. I actually think that we could have like RA's favorite strains on there, right? We could have
Favorite
all
movie,
those.
first fight,
Yep.
first goal.
Yep. We could have
My
my
favorite
my
questions.
bloopers. Like you just click on Whit, it's just me burying Fleury into the boards,
Biz,
getting walked by Yager.
how many
They'd
how many
have,
old ladies he's whacked out?
We'd have
Biz
Harvey-
stats.
Biz's
Harvey's-
Raya account.
Yeah, Raya subscription service. We'd have Harvey's gift cards for Merle's, like 15% off your
poutines
next
he-
Harvey's purchase.
Tomorrow
And
night
then
I'll be
randomly
there.
when you clicked on the website, like all of a sudden it'd be like, the warthog got you, and then you just get a virus sent to your computer. So you just throw in random warthog viruses to attack you.
This doesn't sound like a very good website, but let's create it. Let's do it. What else would you want on there, Merles? Best bars to go on the road?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, that'd be a
most
good. I think
beers?
that. Yeah, definitely like that. Like Dave's Pizza, the best pizza place. We could do best bars. I like to do best wings, best nachos. We could do stuff like
or
that.
I guess best hockey
Coldest-
bars.
Coldest Pink Whitney, coldest Labatt Blue Light. Where do you find those? They got kind of all that stuff already.
I mean, the best hockey bar has got to be the Canuck in New York City. I've never seen a bar like that in the States. The one
You
down in
click on
Manhattan.
Merle's
Cornell
account.
hockey graduate owns that.
Merle's
Oh, no.
account is just highlights of his worst beats ever.
Yeah.
It's just over
Casino
and over
losses.
and over, and he like narrates it in the background, like this is when I took them live to score the next goal, then they got scored against, like just Merle bad beat specials.
And there's an asterisk. Whit, and if you click on that, it'll have a list of what he was gonna bet, but he didn't bet it.
I had it in, and it was loading.
Yep.
And then they scored because Whit made me watch on delay, so it could be in sync with him.
Me and Army could start like our own little like OnlyFans version of Only Peeps, and you can rent us to like come like in the dressing room. All of a sudden on the FaceTime, we can help with the power play. That would be a nice little feature, wouldn't it, Merle? Or wouldn't it, Army?
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
some
yeah.
coaches
We should
would
have
use
that feature in.
Or only
We could just-
only kills and help with the penalty kill. Only kills.
We should have
Don't
something
cancel
like
us.
that where you
We're
could
talking
get like a
penalty kill.
like a 20,000 or 75,000 like Chiclets Air foot view of the game, and you're not so inundated and around the scene. You know, you get our point of view. Would
Okay.
that be good?
All right, gang. Before you go any further, here's a few words from our good friends over at DraftKings. The chase for the Stanley Cup continues, and the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is just as hot as it is on the ice. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boost, and so much more, don't miss out as the Stanley Cup playoffs wind down. If you're looking at the Stanley Cup, I know it had already started, but Florida was minus 140 for the series here. Edmonton plus 120. Pretty evenly matched, but should be a slobber knocker. Should be a doozy of a series. But if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Chiclets. That's code Chiclets for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Now, you just sparked another topic of conversation with you saying about the views, the different camera angle that we've experienced in the first two games where it goes from a higher angle. Not crazy about it. You guys were talking about it on the stream. Have we talked about that yet on the pod?
No,
How
I
they
don't
go?
think we did after game
No.
one. They broke it out game one. I'd never seen it. I don't remember if it had been on prior. And then game 2, they went back to it. I tweeted, like, did they just try out a new camera angle in game 1 of the final? And most of the responses, though, seem to really like it. I think people said they should have been doing this a lot longer. I saw one of those. I shouldn't say some people, but I'm more just like, maybe if I got used to it, but I'm kind of like right away, I was taken aback. In the first game, they went to it, and Draisaitl got like a sick backhander on net, but I almost missed it because of it was just surprising. I don't know. I think you'd need to give it a little bit more time, but right off the bat, my initial reaction was, I don't like this.
It's like a Pasha. It's like Pasha with his drone.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it is.
Trying to crash.
Yeah, it's
into
like that
anyone
NFL one that's on the big wires and it zooms in and out.
That's
like you
actually
said,
sick.
Yeah, we're just
That
not
thing
ready
actually
for
works.
it. So
But
when
they
it's
don't
that
show
game
that.
one,
Do they
you're
show
like,
that live? Do they show
Yes.
plays from that camera?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or
Oh
replays?
yeah. Even them just having their quarterbacks run out from the timeout. That
I
thing's
guess, yeah,
sick.
now all the ones behind the QB are that camera.
You know what? Now you say it, Whit. I feel like we don't see that angle. Like they used to have the camera right behind the net, up high, particularly on a power play. I feel like we haven't
I
seen
loved
that much
it.
at all.
I
Like,
loved it.
Yeah,
People didn't
It
like
seemed like-
it. You know another thing too, RA, why I loved it is because a lot of the time from the angle that you normally see, you can't see where they can expose and where they can pass it to actually get the playoff. Where sometimes, like for instance, a lot of time Florida, where they activate the bumper guy and they get that shot off, it'll show to me the tic-tac-toe better.
Yeah.
And it's just like a nicer view for me. And the fact that it's like still the one thing about the high angle, how they kind of kept going back and forth, it was more about the fact that it kept moving back and forth and you're trying to like readjust your eyes to what you're seeing. That to me is what I didn't like about the one that you just talked about, Whit. But like you said, RA, when they would set that one up behind the net and the power play would be snapping around the ozone for 45 seconds, I fucking loved it.
yeah. You kind of get the goalie's perspective as well. I mean, it's a little bit higher, but you kind of can see what he's seeing a little bit. So yeah, I'm
and the
surprised
fact
they got
that
rid of it.
and the fact, RA, you know, the shoot it.
I've never yelled that.
It's like you could see on that the guy's right in the lane, so you wouldn't be yelling, shoot it.
I might be yelling shoot at the game 3 we're at. I might
know
be
what
that guy.
You know what always fucks with me with the camera angle? The regular game camera angle, there's a guy going in to forecheck a defenseman, and then they popped it down to the guy in the corner to like see the hit.
Yeah.
But like you can see the guy tracking it on the forecheck. For people at home watching, watch for this. As soon as they flip it to the thing, like the play's already done, like it's like weird. It's like they went into they went ahead of they couldn't keep up. The camera couldn't keep up. It's the weirdest thing.
So by the time it shifts to just the
I know
corner
what you're
angle, the
saying. It
hit's
looks like
already
it's
been
Back to
made.
the Future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
crazy in my brain. I'm watching, like, oh, the guy's going to forecheck. He's going to hit him. And then all of a sudden
noticed
they
that too.
switch it to the corner camera, and then it's like all of a sudden the play's already gone. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to those 10 feet the guy was? It's crazy. Watch for it. It's crazy. Blows my
I
mind.
can't believe this series, though. It's like, for everyone out there, it's like Panthers are just going to truck them. Oilers have no chance. That's kind of how it's played out. The Oilers played great, but it's 2-0. The Panthers stars haven't really done that much, and Bobrovsky's just stole it. It's just exactly what everyone who was all over the Panthers
It
said
should be
would happen.
1-1. It should be 1-1.
Yeah.
I don't
should
think there's a bet like this
But-
that exists. Is there a bet, RA, where you could basically say this series will end in the next 3 games?
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. I mean, I know Florida to sweep was 10-1 at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
So
You would just bet both of them. You bet the sweep and you bet 4-1 would be how you do it.
And
Yeah, I mean-
you do it now, and you'd still be able to get the odds,
Oh,
or
no, you
I'm
would-
trying to look for it right now
Mer-
for you.
Merle's can find it. But before the series, Biz, if you want to bet Florida to sweep, it was 10-1 with the odds on that.
I got it right here for you. Panthers sweep right now is plus 300. Panthers 4-1 plus 240.
That's all the insight I have left, unless you want to get me on only kills, and I'll help you solve your penalty kill problems on our new website. So congratulations to Cap Friendly, but we're coming for the bag now.
I'm going to bed.
All right, one last note. We want to congratulate Dallas GM Jim Nill, one of the Jim Gregory GM of the Year Award for the second straight year. Great season in Dallas. I know it'll come up a little short, but congrats to the GM down there. But yeah, boys, I think that probably wraps it up for tonight. Any final shit you want to share before we call it a day and get on planes tomorrow?
We're coming to Edmonton,
Can't wait.
and we're
Cannot
bringing
wait.
the Thunder. And this series isn't over. Biz saying that's all we needed. The last 2 rounds, Vancouver was over. Dallas was over. Now we got them on the right side again of being wrong. So we're coming to Edmonton, and I can't wait to be there. Travel starts tomorrow. The Great White North.
Can't wait to get there.
Long
them?
days.
We'll
Long
see you.
days.
Don't forget, too, we'll be doing shows after every game.
Long
So
day.
catch you a little later.